Hey guys, Ronan Will. This is the last episode of the original Star Trek miniatures painting videos for Star Trek Away Missions. Yeah, I think that's everything. So we are going to be painting the communications officer, Lieutenant Commander. Look at her. Lieutenant Commander Uhura. 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 Her first name is Nyoto. So, let's see here. We're going to go over some basic facts about her first, like always. And then we will go from there. So, the character was originally seen, get this, in the pilot episode called The Cage, which aired in 1965, an entire year before the actual series. I just want to see something, because if you remember all the way back last week to to Kirk, I talked about how there was a different person who played Captain Kirk in the original pilot. I don't actually see him listed as one of the characters in this episode, in the Cage episode. No. Huh. Weird. But yeah, so she was always a character from the beginning. But the first episode she was actually in proper was, of course, the original series, episode 1, The Man Trap, which we have literally said about most of these characters. Originally played by Nicole Nichols, then in the 2000s picked up by Zoe Saldana. I'm sorry, there's a little tilde over the N, and I am bad with pronunciations when it comes to that. And more recently, in the new series for 2022 to present, it is Sela Rose Gooding. Nicole also voiced Uhura in the animated series, and Sela Rose Gooding voiced her in Those Old Scientists, which Okay, so according to this was from the Star Trek Strange New Worlds series. I am very far behind on my Star Trek history and shows. What was the last one I watched? I mean, obviously the old series I'm watching for the first time pretty much, but I watched Next Generation. I grew up with Next Generation, which also was running at the same time as Deep Space Nine, which technically I think was after, but it's a gray area with Deep Space Nine, and then Voyager. And then I really didn't watch much else. My dad watched all the series up to, I think he's up to date. I actually don't know. I should ask him about that. But I remember watching some episodes of The Enterprise when that came out. I tried watching the newest series, which was, well, I mean, now the newest series apparently is that, whatchamacallit one. Wow, I'm so blanked out, and we passed by so much stuff that happened. Real quick, something important about Uhura, and if they do another female character from the original series, they wear a dress. So their pants are actually stockings, and I kid you not, I spent 30 to 40 minutes looking at just images of the female characters' outfits, and the what I could gather is that their stockings are black nylons, but like a black nylon, but it's very thin, so you get like the skin tone coming through. So what I ended up doing, I took Necrocloak and mixed it with the skin tone that I'm using for Aurora, which is Monster Brown, for the darkest levels. Her face is also very hard to do because her hand is up against her cheek. So as you can see, it's kind of a weird. It looks a little weird. Once it's all painted, it looks fine. But this part, trying to get it to make sense in my head, was just a bad time. So yeah. So I find it interesting that this character was actually always meant to be in the series, all the way back to, again, before really the captain was named Captain James T. Kirk and all of that. So a couple of interesting things, at least referring to me, with this whole character. Me and Michelle actually had met the original actress, Nicole Nichols, like, wow, I guess it was like 10 years ago. She unfortunately has passed away since then. But we met her at a convention, and so it was funny. We were getting an autograph from her for my father. Again, he's been a lifelong Star Trek fan. And so we got to talking with her. And again, I don't handle interacting with people. Like, first impressions are not always my strong suit. So I'm like, oh yeah, no, my father grew up watching you. He loved Star Trek. He grew up watching the show and watching you. And she turns around and she goes, I grew up watching myself too. And I understand, like, she was saying that she, like, she would watch the series throughout the years and all that. But I don't know why. I just, like, after she said that, I was like, oh. My brain shut down, and I'm just like, okay, somebody help me. I don't handle interaction with, forget it. If I've met a couple of celebrities when doing conventions and stuff. I've met William Shatner, actually. I've met twice. One with my dad and one getting something for my dad before he decided to come and meet William Shatner. Since then, I think my dad's actually met up with William Shatner like 2 or 3 times. He does shows in New York a lot, and so my dad went to go see it. Okay, so real quickly, I make a major mistake here. You can even see the paint is still wet. When I was recording this, I don't know what was going on. It was such a hot day. And so the paint was refusing to dry on certain spots. So I started doing it and then realized that I couldn't get it to, if I did the whole thing, it would have ruined the paint. So I literally had to wait like half an hour, which is why you can now see that it's all dry. And I'm retouching up out of frame. Get in frame. Thank you. But no, I've met Shatner once or twice. Same convention 2 times. Does that count as 2 separate meetings or one? Anyway, and I also met my favorite captain, Picard. Why am I blanking out on his name now? He is actually one of my favorite actors, too. And I cannot for the life of me remember names right now. Guys, it's been a long day. My brain has literally just decided to shut down. Did I really just forget to turn off the camera here? Oh no, I was getting something to clean up a little bit more. God, why am my brain is stuck on Sean Connery, which I don't even know why, because he's not in any of the freaking Star Trek. He is one of my favorite actors, but that's not the one I'm trying to get. It's not Leonard Nimoy, not Harrison Ford. Wow, guys, I literally am drawing a blank all of a sudden. Anyway, he was in New York City doing a play, and that's how I was. He ended up last minute deciding he was going to go to the Comic-Con convention, and so I ended up meeting him there. But yeah, again, I don't handle meeting celebrities very well. I've met quite a few thanks to work, which isn't really saying much because it's like they walk in. Sometimes they'll ask a question and talk with us. Most of the time they're just like, hey, okay, bye. Like, it it's whatever. So, yeah, now I'm doing the touch-ups here for the highlights. I think I go and do one more brighter for the stockings with the Monster Brown, just kind of trying to do that feathering effect that I did on all the other models at this point, just to give it a little bit more depth. And there we go. Alright, and next, the hard part, the red dress. This is Dragon Red followed by Dragon Red mixed with Pure Red, and it will be finished off with just Pure Red. What's funny is, so she was, Uhura was the first miniature of this set that I actually had started painting, and she was the last one I did the highlights for. To be honest, I have no idea why. It kind of just worked out that way that she was the last one. I normally try to do them in the order of I painted you first, so I dark tone you first, so I highlight you first. But it all got screwy when I was painting the models this time, which is funny because I honestly feel like these turned out better than some of my other ones that I've done over the last couple of months. Again, I've done so much of the Star Trek miniatures. I never want to see another Romulan again. And I think Romulans only had one set. Maybe they had two. I don't remember. But, oh my lord. The Romulans have a checkerboard pattern for their shirts. Which, on the surface, doesn't sound bad. Until you realize the checkerboard pattern is light gray and dark gray. So you have to do that all over their body with the folds of the shirts going, and oh, man, it was the most annoying. I refused to finish them. I literally had to have Michelle finish those guys because they were just such a pain in the ass getting to that point. The Klingons were fine. There was just a lot of detailing with a lot of these models. Like, I think that's why I decided to do the Federation for recording, because there isn't that much detail. So even though, like, you're seeing this at literally 300% speed, which is insane to think about how long. Really, it took me an hour and a half a model, give or take. But the Klingons, each one usually took me about 3 hours. Just because of the different color paints, the different amounts of effects and all that I had to apply in different sections. It was something, guys. Alright, and then this, I'm doing the feathering effect on a lot of this outfit. And again, I was very worried about doing this outfit because there's just so much red, and unlike the shirts, there's a lot of folds, and you could literally make it too dark or too light in any given section on accident trying to do this. So, something I've learned though doing these, I think I like the idea of how I did Sulu. Paint from the bottom up and then from the top down for the highlights. Just because it flowed better. Where this now I'm very careful about touching the lower part of the body because now everything from the lower half is not only still wet but also all the highlights are done. So now I kind of have to be careful about touching that because until you varnish it, the paint can still come off. So next I am doing the skin tone, obviously. I went back with Monster Brown and then I lightened it up with a little bit of Leather Brown? No. Fur Brown. Yeah, it's a little weird. I may have gone a little too light on the highlights. The one thing I'm not a big fan of, and this is part of the model, which is weird because she is so detailed on literally everything else. I'm touching up the legs again. But her earpiece, her little silver communicator thing coming out of her ear is not detailed at all. Where they put so much detail on such little sections like the communicator or the tricorder or the phaser. I said it right that time. Holy crap. But her little ear communication device is literally just a little stick with a little, almost like a lollipop. In fact, that's a great way to describe it. It's a lollipop where the ball of the lollipop is sticking out of her ear. That's so stupid. Oh, guys, I'm overly tired at this point. I have recorded the audio for all 4 of these in one sitting. And I actually have to go back and fix some audio for other videos that I recorded because the stupid OBS did not record the audio properly. Yay. Which means I either have to start the videos over again, which I don't want to do because I like where I'm at in the video game. Or I have to do what we did for Princess Peach, which is we talk over 3 episodes. Luckily, it's only 3 episodes, but 3 episodes of video that were not supposed to be me recording over them. I could just let it play without commentary, but there's also no audio, which means I would either A, have to go back and re-up the audio, or B, put just random background music in the Let's Play. I don't really want to do either of those, so we shall see where I'm at. But yeah, so we are done with her basic touch-ups, which means my favorite part, time to outline the letters. I just realized how much it looks like I'm actually like hand drawing those letters. I'm not. I know you guys know I'm not, but like it just looks, it's one of those things that it's just a satisfying look to it, that it's just appearing suddenly. But yeah, guys, we are done. We are done with all the painting videos I have up to date. Please let me know if you like this, if you want me to keep going and do more of these. They take a lot of work and they're a lot of money to do. just because these miniatures are expensive. But there she is. There is Uhura. And yeah, honestly, I really like how she turned out. As much as I don't really, her character's kind of a, you know, female character. That's literally her defining factor in this. At least in the early series. I don't know, later on she might become more interesting. But yeah, that's it, guys. Please, again, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you like this video, these type of videos, and maybe I'll do some more. Alright, till then, Ronan will. Later.